Xander Bogaerts is about to change everything. His involvement with this team will have major implications for not just this year, but for many years to come. And let's talk about that. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Padres Digest with your host, Andrew. Today we have another deep dive into things and players, specifically today, Xander Bogaerts. Before we get into it, though, please subscribe so I can make more of these because they're fun. I like presenting you guys with facts. So, let's start off with the bat. Whatever, you know what I mean. Firstly, when I said Xander Bogaerts is about to change everything, I don't mean everything for this team. I think he's literally going to change everything about himself. His fundamentals, his play style, his mentality. He's going to change everything he has to start playing good again. Why? Because he literally has to. So yesterday I made an basically entire video, bashing Xander Bogaerts. And I woke up, and I'm not going to lie, I felt a little bad. Xander Bogaerts is a Padre. We love the Padres, and obviously we want to see our players perform well. So I took a step back, and I said to myself, what can I do to spin a positive take about Xander Bogaerts? So I never really dived into the numbers. I never really dived into the reasonings for his fall off. So I want to present to you the negatives, obviously, what happened, what went wrong. But I want to make sure I tell you what is going right and how, honestly, things could get better for Xander Bogaerts. Genuinely, things could get better for Xander Bogaerts. So let me start with this. I saw this on a Reddit thread earlier today. I thought I'd just share it with you. Can we stop hating on Xander so much? Everybody knows he's struggling and not playing up to expectations that he was signed for, including him. He got his bag, so he's paid whether he's raking, sitting on the bench, or DFA'd. Since we're committed to the contract, I'd rather see him be successful and contribute to our team, which would be much easier to do without feeling the hate from all the fans. The Phillies gave Trey Turner a standing ovation when struggling, and he turned it around. Xander can mentally check out whenever he wants, so the only thing fueling his desire to get better is his own competitive drive for another championship. I'd rather keep that fire alive than smother it. I am also to blame for this because I did definitely put out a little bit of hate on Xander Bogaerts. Obviously, he does it to himself, but I perpetuate it. That's a big word for me. We always, as fans, put these players up on like a pedestal, right? Like we're not worshiping them, but we always have higher expectations for them. We want the best from them, obviously, because we expect it, especially San Diego Padres fans, because we're desperate for victories. We're desperate for that World Series win. And I'm sure Xander understands that. Let's put it this way. We might hate Xander Bogaerts, but none of us actually hate Xander Bogaerts. I love Xander. I know I said I hate him like 5 times yesterday. I love Xander. All of us want to see Xander improve and succeed on this team. Mostly because we're stuck with him till 2033. But for real, we want to see him succeed. Because I genuinely think he can make a great impact on this team. Because he has for the Red Sox. Hasn't quite yet for us, but he has that potential. So like I said, let's do some like deep dives into everything. So I showed you this yesterday. Good time to bump this thread. Blah, blah, blah. I already read this for you. So I went back and I pulled up the thread. So these numbers are going to be a little outdated because this is from May 31st. Today's the 18th of June. So it's a little outdated, but that's okay. So I have, as always, a butt ton of graphics for you. So I showed you this yesterday, and I wanted to continue with it. So I kind of touched on the differences between 2025 and 2022, but I think we can do a much deeper dive into it, especially with the thread I got for you guys. But as you can tell, there's some definite changes between 2022 and 2025. As you can see, definite changes on a lot of things. So strikeout percentage, he strikes out less now than he did back then. He also walks more, but he chases less and he whiffs at balls less than he did in 2022. But in 2022, it's not on here, but I remember from yesterday, he had a 307 average, I think it was. Yeah, 307 average in 2022 with a 377 on-base percentage. So he obviously played much better in 2022. He actually does look a little better in 2025. Not overall, just in very small areas. And his fielding is actually better this year than it was in 2022, which I feel like we can actually see. I think this next one is that, yes. So then let me show you. Hello, Xander Bogaerts. Let me show you this. I guess we can show you this first. Eric Hosmer versus Xander Bogaerts. Very similar numbers. War-wise, War is a little different because shortstop is more of a valuable position. So War is going to be a little bit adjusted, let's put it that way. So don't pay attention to War. But they look pretty similar. Batting average-wise, Xander Bogaerts is a little better. This is from their first 3 years in San Diego, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, stolen bases, RBIs less, home runs less, hits less. So you could say Eric Hosmer look a little better than Xander Bogaerts. I wouldn't argue with that. I'll let you decide what you want to think. But yeah, I guess I can show you this too. So he literally cannot do anything but pull the ball on the ground, blah, blah, blah. Chose how to swing, attack, angle, contact point, and position in the box. He changed nothing, but it's completely unacceptable. And that kind of goes into this point, right? So on the bottom was his at-bats yesterday. Ground out, ground and double play, force out. So his exit velocity was actually really good, 98.7 on one of them. But his launch angle was negative 12, and that's why I went directly into the dirt, right? But then you can actually see, like we saw on the Savant page, his sweet spot percentage, 36.4, is tied for the best in his career. His expected batting average and his expected slug are better than what they are right now. So 264, 381, and I can show you on this one. He's at 228, 312. So in a sense, he should be hitting better than he is. And he is hitting the ball hard. But it's, again, going directly into the dirt or like a lazy pop-out. Kind of like what we saw yesterday, right? Yesterday was the epitome of his swing. So let's dive deeper into it. Like we said, I have Ryan knows ball, his thread. This is a little outdated from May 31st, but I want to still show you the things, the stats, I guess. It has the explanations, and then I had ChatGPT simplify it a little bit for you just in case you need a better explanation. Here's the Padres' top hitters and where Xander ranks in average bat speed plus average attack angle. So he's swinging just as hard as Merrill, but he's swinging at such a sharper down angle that he can't drive the ball in the air or on a line and create barrels. So bat speed, he swings as hard as Jackson Merrill, but his swing goes down more sharply, which makes it hard to hit the ball in the air or on a line. This leads to fewer barrels, hard hit balls in the sweet spot. So as you can see, his average bat speed is very high, but his attack angle is also very high. And then let me show you this one. Here's the Padres' top hitters and where Xander ranks in average bat speed plus average batting stance. This dude is so much further forward in the box than everyone. So he stands all the way up, basically all the way up in the front of the batter's box. Why? All that leads to is catching balls out front and less time to react, let the ball travel. So he's basically giving himself less time to react by standing in the very front. If he moved back, he would have, obviously not like a lot of time, but just a little bit more time. You know what I mean? So I want to show you this. If that doesn't make sense, I'll have another simplification breakdown for you. But next one, as you see here, his average intercept point, he's hitting the ball more out front than all of the other Padres elite hitters. So let me break that down for you. Average intercept point equals the typical spot where a hitter makes contact with the ball. For Xander, that spot is much farther out in front of the plate than other top Padres hitters. Why? That's a problem. He's not letting the pitch travel deep. It is harder to square it up and drive it, which leads, as we've noticed, to more grounders and weaker contact. So what he is doing, obviously, is not working. But obviously, I got more for you. Let's talk about some solutions. Again, these are from Ryan Knows Ball. I had a little simplified on ChatGPT, but he needs to first scoot back in the box. Gives him more time to see and react to the pitch. Change his swing approach. He needs to swing more through the ball, not just down on it. He uses his backside. He needs to use his backside / hip more, which will help generate more power and stay balanced. Let the ball travel deeper and improves his timing and allows for better contact. He needs to engage his legs more, especially to the back leg, which will add power and stability to the swing. Because right now, his swing is going downwards. And when he hits downwards, for all batters, I know some batters are successful. I remember Alex Rodriguez did a demonstration of how he swings downwards, and obviously he has over 500 home runs in the league. It's a loud airplane above me, sorry. But when Xander swings down, it's not resulting in the same kind of contact. And he hasn't changed it at all. He's been doing that same swing. And maybe it worked in Boston. I don't know if he had the same exact swing in Boston. But for right now, especially this year, all it's doing is resulting in groundouts and weak contact. One of the things he has to change 100%. But let's dive deeper into it. Which one was this one? That one. So I have ChatGPT compare the two StatCast percentile rankings that I showed you from 25 to 2022. Did I make ChatGPT do all my work for me? Yes. Yes, I did. But ChatGPT will explain it a lot better than I could. So I want to make sure everything is easy for you guys to digest in Padres Digest. So let's start with the overall value stats, right? So in 2022, his batting run value was 83. This year, it's 11. Huge drop. He's not adding runs with his bat. Base running doesn't matter that much. Fielding doesn't matter that much. But his range, his fielding is actually better, like we said, this year than it was last year. But let's get into the other things. Expected weighted on base average measures contact quality dropped significantly from 23 to 25. Batting average dropped significantly. Well, yeah, I would say significantly. Slugging obviously has dropped. He's lost power and potential based on batted balls. Average exit velocity has actually gone up, which is interesting. His exit velocity has gone up. Slight improvement on how hard he hits the ball. And you could see that from his plate appearances yesterday. 98.7 off the bat, 92 off the bat, 85 off the bat. So he's hitting it hard. No one is saying he's not hitting it hard. I mean, people might be saying that, but you shouldn't, because he is hitting it harder now than he did back in his last year with Boston. Barrel percentage, ideally the same, 15-15. Few ideal contacts. Hard hit. So he's hitting the ball off the bat hard, but his hard hitting percentage is actually down, which I know is confusing. It's hard to explain it. He's hitting the ball fast off the bat, but it's not being hit hard. Yes, there's a difference, because hard hit is kind of like how far it travels, in a sense. How fast is just how fast it is off the bat, in its simplest essence. His sweet spot, though, much better than it was in 2022. Big improvement. More balls hit at the ideal launch angles. But, again, kind of like what we talked about with Merrill a couple of videos ago, he's not hitting the ball hard, even though he's hitting the ideal launch angle. And his bat speed, which is now tracked, I'm guessing maybe they didn't track bat speed in 2022. I'm not sure. But it's slightly above average at 60. So he does swing the bat hard. Not as hard as someone like Merrill, but he does swing it pretty hard. And then squared up, new metric, he's making cleaner contact more often. He makes cleaner contact, but for some reason is not hitting the ball hard off the bat or barreling the ball very much. His exit velocity isn't crazy. I mean, 46 is around average, but it's still, I mean, yesterday he hit what? Almost 100, so it's strange. What isn't strange, though, and what I actually like, his chase rate, whiff rate, strikeout rate, and walk rate have all improved. Chasing balls better than 85% of the league. Clear improvement in plate discipline. Lower swing and miss rate, making him better than 77%. Has improved contact consistency. Slight increase in strikeouts. Small regression. So he's striking out a little bit less. And his walk rate is improved, so he's walking more. So he's picking better pitches, but he's not swinging at those pitches better. He's hitting it better, but also not hitting it better. And that's why it's really confusing to be Xander Bogaerts. It's kind of the same essence as, say, Dylan Cease, who we know has really good filth, but that filth in his pitches is not working for him because it drives up his pitch count. Because, say, he throws a ball, he throws a lot of pitches that either strike people out or walk them. That's what hurts Dylan Cease. For Xander, is it maybe that he's too selective with his pitches? Does he need to swing more? Or is it just his overall swing in general? But overall offensive value has dropped sharply from top 20 to bottom 10. His power numbers have declined, but a slight increase in strikeouts. Or I guess it would be a decrease in strikeouts. I don't know. It doesn't matter, right? It's around the same. But what got better? His chase percentage, whiff percentage improved slightly. He's chasing fewer bad pitches, missing less often. Sweet spot has improved. Defensive range has improved. Walk rate has improved. Slight improvements in sprint speed and exit velocity. Let's talk about a quote from Xander. This is from early May, and this is talking about him struggling. Because I feel like it'll in a way, humanize the fact that he knows he's struggling, but he wants to improve. Not being able to play the way you want to, I know how much I expect of myself, and when you're not able to do that, it is extremely frustrating. I've always held myself to high standards. I've been through some stuff like this before, so it's not like it's the first time. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised about the slow start, but all it takes is one. That was from Xander via SportsIllustrated.com, Nelson Espinal. This is, like I said, from 5/5/25. But let me just summarize this. Xander Bogaerts' 2025 struggles aren't just about age or bad luck. They involve mechanical issues, but also changes in approach. His swing path remains a bit steep, and he's still making contact somewhat out in front. But his plate discipline has improved significantly, chasing fewer bad pitches and missing less often. While his bat speed and sweet spot contact have gotten better, his overall offensive value has still dropped compared to a few seasons ago, mainly due to less power and fewer runs created. To bounce back, Bogaerts should focus on moving slightly back in the box, letting the ball travel deeper and re-engaging his lower half to generate more consistent power. Without a full reset, he risks drifting further from the player he once was, but the signs of improvement in discipline and contact offer hope. That is from me, with a little help from ChatGPT. Thank you, ChatGPT, for existing. So yeah, pretty much, Xander Bogaerts has the workings of playing well this year, because there have been improvements this year. Maybe it's him trying too hard to be good. Maybe he needs to take a step back, rethink about what he's done that's worked for him to help him reevaluate his position right now. But I know he's playing horribly, but I think it's still too early to give up on Xander Bogaerts. Stick around with him. Stick around with the team. Have a little bit of faith. Keep the faith. Again, sorry this video was really long, but I hope you guys liked it. Let me know how you feel about Xander Bogaerts. Does this video make you feel a little differently about him? Do you still hate him? What do you think we could do to change it? Or do you still want to trade him? Which will never happen, but do you still want to trade him? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and go Padres. Also, today's game recap is going to come out tomorrow because I work tonight. Just FYI. Okay, goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.